Yo, what is up YouTube? James Baek here, and welcome back to another episode of VGC 17 Back-to-Back Battles. If you can't tell, I'm still sick, and I might have gotten a little bit worse. But today, we are still using Snow's team. I still want to bring the daily content to the channel, so I will definitely be playing as long as I feel like my play is, at least okay. Because if I decide if I'm not playing well, I probably won't upload it because I want to bring up the higher quality content. But today we are using Snow's team. If you want to go check it out, use it in the description down below, as you could check out Snow, the QR code, and the blog. So I highly recommend go check out those. So if you haven't seen the last episode, I highly recommend checking that out as well. But anyway, let's hope we can find some games early because I don't actually have that much time to record today. So I'm actually really hoping that we can get some games in early. I'd really love that. I would really appreciate that battle spot. But anyway, today was an interesting day. Obviously, if you didn't check my Twitter, I actually, for the first time, went to the gym and started working out. I worked out for like an hour and a half, and I am pretty proud of myself, and I think I'm going to be doing this like every day or every other day. It's like one of those two, but I'm definitely going to be definitely just going to the gym and seeing how the results are, because I really do want to change myself in that kind of way. But yeah, enough about me. Let's just get started on the team. We have the Nihilego, Tapu Koko, Salamence, Metagross, Buzzwole, and Gastrodon, the team that Snow used to get top 4 at the World Championship. And hopefully we can find the game soon, otherwise I'm just going to cut it till we actually find the game. So I think we're going to be cutting it right here, so I'll see you when we find a battle. Oh, never mind, we actually found one. From Italy, 1601 rating. I need some water. I'm sorry, people, my throat isn't feeling the best today. Okay. We see... why is every team running Ninetales and Marowak Celesteela combination? Okay. What's really good is Tapu Koko plus Metagross. I feel like is a very solid lead for me. I don't know if that's Scarf Garchomp. It could be. There are two ground immunities, so definitely could be a Scarf Garchomp. I think Tapu Koko plus Metagross is very solid in this matchup. Salamence is necessary in the back, I feel like, and I don't really need Buzzwole. I think Gastrodon is the most solid Pokemon because it can, help against the Gyarados. It kind of takes Earthquakes or Gleams decently well. So let's see how this is going to go, because I'm not exactly sure. Hopefully we can predict it right, because if you haven't checked out the last episode, Game 3 was a bit interesting. I tried to make a bit of an over prediction, and yeah, it didn't exactly work out in my favor. So let's see what my opponent's going to bring out. I'm hoping it's going to be a... Well, let's see. I hope it's not a Garchomp lead. It's going to be Tapu Koko Gyarados, which I'm definitely okay with here, because... Ooh, there are two plays my opponent can make. I could see a hard switch into Marowak, which would make a lot of sense. I could see the Tapu Koko just going for... Actually, I don't think this is Gigavolt Havoc on Tapu Koko, just because the Gyarados would most likely be running the Z move on this team. So I feel like I could just go for Gleams and Headbutt. The only reason why I think I can make this play is because it would make more sense to have Gyarados having the Z move, so I kind of doubt it. I could see Dragon Dance and go into Marowak. Yeah, that's kind of what I mostly think. If he had the Gigavolt Havoc, which I'm not expecting from her or him, I would probably just switch out to Gastrodon, which is also a very fair play. But I think I'm just going to double up the Gyarados with a Gleam plus Zen Headbutt and see how much damage it can do. As my opponent actually just stays in and maybe was hoping for a Speed Tie or something. Yeah, going for the Volt Switch. I don't agree with that play. Just because if you lost the Speed Tie and I went for an Electric type move, that could have been really devastating for my opponent, but it did work out because I didn't click Dazzling Gleam, because I thought my opponent was just going to hard switch into Marowak, but I guess gets the chip damage on Tapu Koko, and Ninetales is going to come out. Okay, so maybe it's another game my opponent's not bringing Marowak in, which, I'm kind of strange, because I feel like you would bring Marowak in these situations. Just gonna go for a Dragon Dance here, which is definitely fair. I do have my Gastrodon, so it is a very safe switch in. I could just go for a Gleam. I could also Volt Switch here. as Zen Headbutt will go out into the Gyarados slot, and that is going to do a massive amount of damage. It actually puts it where Hail actually knocks out the Gyarados, which is absolutely huge, because now I don't have to switch into Gastrodon. Of course, Gastrodon's role just became a lot less valuable to me, because of the fact I just got rid of the Gyarados, which was one Pokemon that was really crucial. I'm guessing Garchomp's my opponent's last Pokemon then. But if my opponent wants to go for like a Scarf Earthquake, that's fine with me, because you're hitting your own Pokemon. So Tapu Koko is going to come back out. I can go for a Gleam, I think, and a Bullet Punch. I don't see a reason not to be honest. I could give Volt Havoc to Tapu Koko if I do win the speed tie, because I should be able to pick up the knockout onto the Tapu Koko. Which, in retro... I think I need Tapu Koko, though. I think I need Tapu Koko just because... Okay, I think the best place to switch on to Gash... I am very sorry, people. I do this a lot often. So I was supposed to switch out Koko and Gastrodon because I need my Koko for Celesteela, because if I lose it, it's not that good. So Discharge is gonna come out, which with the hail damage might actually be able to pick up the knockout onto my Koko since it's weakened. Doesn't pick up the knockout right away, which is good, but Dazzling Gleam will come out. Discharge is interesting because usually well, it is more common now that we see the Life Orb. You know, Life Orb Discharge, Koko did win Worlds, but you usually see it more on the Specs variant. I can't tell if it was Specs Dazzling Gleam, but it might have actually been Specs Dazzling Gleam that we saw earlier, so not too bad. I can go out into my Metagross here and just click Bullet Punch, and I think just protect my Gastrodon, which I think is a very fair play. My opponent really doesn't have much for Gastrodon, but I do have to be careful. Celesteel's looking like a big threat in the back. But if it's Garchomp, it's looking a lot better. I don't have Protect. I can go for a Bullet Punch Scald combination of Ninetales and hope it works. Hopefully my opponent does have Celesteela, because I think it would switch out into Celesteela if you have it for the Ninetales here. As Koko's actually going to withdraw, which is actually more beneficial to me. Garchomp's going to come out, which is the Pokemon I want to see here, because of the fact that I'm going to get rid of the Ninetales here, unless it crits Freeze Dry or has a boosting, or maybe it's like Modest Nature or something. So I get the Bullet Punch off, which does bring the Ninetales down to its stash. And Freeze Dry is going to come out, which, you know, doesn't really affect me too much. It is super effective. It won't KO me. Yeah, like it barely doesn't KO me. And I will be able to get a Scald off into the Ninetales, which will be able to pick up the knockout, which is pretty crucial. This is definitely very crucial here, as I will be able to get rid of the Ninetales here. That means no Aurora Veil is coming out. There's no Aurora Veil that was set up here. Now the question is, what kind of Garchomp is this? If this is SD, it's a bit more difficult. It's definitely a bit more difficult, but if it's something like a Choice Scarf, it's going to be very confusing for my opponent, I feel like. And I'm pretty sure it's Specs Koko, just based on the damage and the fact we didn't see a Life Orb at all. So I'm pretty sure it's Specs Koko. So probably was expecting the Bullet Punch in the Tapu Koko slot, which is why my opponent went for that play, but I'll just go for Bullet Punch in Tapu Koko now. And I have no reason not to switch into Immense right here, because the fact that I could always just sack Gastrodon to get another Intimidate in case this is like a Solar Sands Garchomp. So I will go on Immense here. Also get that Intimidate, which lowers the Garchomp's attack, which means Earthquake will be doing less damage, and I could potentially live a Tectonic Rage here, as no Protect from Koko. I'm very confident that Specs. Get the Bullet Punch off, that will be able to knock out Tapu Koko. Nice. Gets a crit, which really doesn't matter at that point. Fire Fang, my opponent's gonna lock himself into, or, you know, we didn't actually see my opponent lock into Fire Fang, but it reveals Fire Fang, so it's interesting. It means my opponent either, I don't know. So we saw Fire Fang. You have to assume Earthquake, because I think every Garchomp, you know, runs Earthquake. I've never seen a Garchomp that doesn't run Earthquake, so means that maybe it is Scarf locked into that Fire Fang, which would make sense. Could be like a 3-attack Protect Garchomp, could be SD as the last move, which means they couldn't touch my Salamence. But either way, I'll go for a Bullet Punch here, because I get to avoid, you know, getting flinched as much as possible. And I'll just withdraw back into Gastrodon, just to scout what this Garchomp really wants to do here. As the match is going to be forfeit, so I would assume it'd be like Scarf Garchomp at that rate. I think my opponent was going for like Specs Gleam and Fire Fang, but luckily we were able to avoid that. So we do take the first one, which is very nice. Very convincing battle. That misclick, I guess it worked out still for us, but I mean, yeah, I mean, if my opponent had Celesteela in the back, I was definitely screwed. I mean, Koko's value was less optimal because of the fact that there was no Celesteela and it was probably Scarf Garchomp, so I guess Koko wasn't as valuable. But still, if there was Celestial in the back, I would have probably had a very tough time because Flamethrower wouldn't be doing too much as, yeah, we can't find the battle. So, I'm gonna go back on, try to find the battle, but yeah. So, the play was optimal. My opponent didn't have. I'm surprised though. Like, I feel like no one is about Marowak against me, and I feel like Marowak is a decent Pokemon to bring against the team because it does really well. There's only like 2 ways I could really hit Marowak, Nihilego and Salamence. And I guess I'm Metagross, but unless I'm +2, it really doesn't do much damage. So I feel like Marowak is just so solid, especially since my only answer to Celesteela is really Tapu Koko. I feel like people just haven't really. I don't know, I just feel like people should be bringing it against me. But anyway, I'm going to cut till we find another battle. Alright, we found our second opponent, Jack, with, I don't know, it's like a 16 something rating. Wait, did we face Jack earlier? I don't know, this team looks very, very familiar though. We see an Arcanine, Muk, Tapu Fini, Porygon 2, Ninetales, Garchomp. This was like, I believe, an old team that Aaron Zhang used to get first in the win a trip to Melbourne challenge. So if I remember correctly, that's offensive Arcanine then, which makes it a lot easier to deal with. I don't remember what the Garchomp was. It was either SD or it was offensive. Best play here I think me bring is the Nihilego's so good. Nihilego is actually amazing this matchup, but I have to be able to get rid of the Garchomp somehow. I think Coco's very solid here. Coco plus Metagross, to be honest. I think if it's offensive Arcanine, I could just Bullet Punch Gigabolt Havoc, knock it out, which is something I did previously. We might have faced Jack already. I actually don't remember if we did face Jack. Could be. As I'm going to also go Buzzwole. And I think Salamence in the back. Yeah, Salamence is necessary. Buzzwole is pretty good against the majority of my opponent's team. If I get rid of the Tapu Fini plus the Arcanine, I definitely do want to prevent Auroraville from going out, which is something that's very crucial here. I mean, I don't exactly have to, I guess, because I don't feel like any of my moves like really are significant for KOing other than maybe Ice Punch on the Garchomp. Otherwise, I can't really one-shot my opponent's team unless I'm using one of my Z moves, but I feel like I'm in an okay spot here. Let's see what my opponent's going to lead. Garchomp lead would be kind of scary here. We could see Auroraville, or we could see my opponent trying to go for the Blizzard turn 1, which would be very scary. I'm going to lead Coco Metagross because it is usually what I like to lead against my opponent's team if it's like this. It is Garchomp Ninetales coming out here. So I'm not sure. I think Ninetales could protect here. It could also just go for Auroraville. I think Garchomp might go for Earthquake here. Protect Earthquake is definitely a play I'm expecting here. So the play I kind of want to make is go for the Gleam here into both of these Pokemon, and I think just switch out to Salamence here is a very safe play. Because of the fact I'll be able to live in Earthquake. If my opponent goes for Auroraville, that means you're going for a Tectonic Rage with Garchomp, which would be able to pick up the KO. I'm not exactly sure if he would risk Ninetales going down though to Bullet Punch Gleam. This is an O team, which is why I'm kind of expecting Protect on Ninetales compared to, like, you know, Sam's Ninetales from Worlds, who didn't have Protect, had Disable, and Auroraville, Icy Wind, Auroraville, Disable, and Roar. So that's why I'm kind of expecting a different Ninetales here, but I am going to withdraw my Metagross here, go into Salamence, which will be able to provide the Intimidate, as well as the fact that this Dazzling Gleam does put this Garchomp into range of a Draco Meteor, which is very nice, as well as no Protect coming out for the Ninetales, which is okay. So that's fine because I'm able to get all that damage on the Garchomp. It is going to be straight into Auroraville. Does that mean Tectonic Rage is coming out? Which is fine because if I get Metagross in, that's good. Tectonic Rage is going to come out. Let's see who is it targeting. It's either the Metagross or the Coco. I'd imagine you target down to Coco here. I just imagine you target down to Coco. Let's see here though. As it's going to be... Oh, it's into the Metagross slot. So that actually really works out in my favor here because now I'm able to throw off a Gigabolt Havoc into the Ninetales. I'll be still able to live in Earthquake with my Tapu Koko, so I don't have to worry about an Earthquake. And Gigabolt Havoc should be able to knock out Ninetales through the Auroraville. So I get a free KO here basically. I could just Draco the Garchomp. Of course, Tapu Fini could come in, but I mean, if Tapu Fini comes in for the Ninetales slot, I get a bunch of damage onto the Tapu Fini, which is ideal for my Metagross to sweep. And the fact that Draco Meteor, although it might not KO Garchomp with the Misty Terrain, I feel like with a few Hail turns it will be able to KO. And if Tapu Fini comes out for the Garchomp slot, actually that could be bad because Blizzard is definitely a play. But I don't know, let's see if Gigavolt Havoc could pick up the knockout Ninetales potentially here. Yeah, it's definitely a bit of a few mind games, but of course that means if my opponent brought the Tapu Fini, which Arcanine's going to come out, which is fine because I get a lot of damage on this Arcanine. If it's offensive, I get to tell because of the fact that I have the Aurora Veil. The fact my opponent's threw Aurora Veil. So let's see here. I do get the Gigavolt Havoc off. That should definitely be able to knock out the Ninetales, and this is looking extremely good for me. So I'll be able to blow away the Ninetales, unless this is a really, really bulky set, but that's not really a thing. Especially since most of them like to run max speed, and we already did confirm it's max speed, or at least it's very fast because it outsped the Garchomp. So, could be slow Garchomp though. Gigavolt Havoc going to come out into Ninetales, which will be able to pick up the knockout. Yep. And I get a free Draco Meteor into the Arcanine, which is absolutely crucial. That chip damage is going to put the Arcanine in range of my +2s and headbutt from Metagross soon. So I do get all this damage. That is definitely offensive Arcanine. That is definitely 100% offensive Arcanine by how much damage I did. So definitely looking great here as, you know, this Hail definitely chipping away the Arcanine. I'll definitely take that. I don't know if it's Bandit or Life Orb though. Could be Z-move as well. I think Aaron ran Gigavolt Havoc on his Arcanine in the past. Let's see. Of course, Porygon 2 is still a bit annoying because I already used my Z-move. However, you know, Buzzwole is looking pretty good if I'm able to get rid of this Arcanine. So, let's see what my opponent is going to bring out. I could see Garchomp coming back out, which, you know, would definitely be a play here. Let's see. Let us see. My opponent's definitely thinking long hard about this. Maybe thinking about bringing Tapu Fini into the game, which I could definitely see being brought here. Let's see. As soon as my opponent makes a move, Tapu Fini is going to be sent out. So, could be Calm Mind Tapu Fini. Calm Mind Tapu Fini is pretty bad, but if I get one Bulldoze off, I'm pretty good against it. So I think I can just Volt Switch here, the Arcanine slot. Yeah, I think I'll Volt Switch the Arcanine slot because I do want the chip damage, and I think I'm going to bring out my Metagross here for the Salamence in case on a Moonblast that my opponent decides to fire in. I don't think you're Flare Blitzing the Salamence slot, and I could Volt Switch to get some Intimidate. Of course, my opponent could predict this. There's definitely a possibility my opponent could predict this. I feel like it's a safe turn overall. If that's offensive Arcanine, should be able to knock out my Tapu Koko, which means Tapu Fini could Protect here if it does carry Protect in order to avoid taking as much damage as possible from a T-Bolt that could be going in that way, which is why I want to go for Volt Switch into Arcanine, which also weakens the Arcanine for future attacks like a Draco Meteor for my Salamence once I get my terrain back up. So, no Protects here. I get a free good damage onto that Arcanine. Yep. And now I can bring out my Salamence here, get Intimidate back, avoid taking a Flare Blitz with my Tapu Koko, as well as avoid taking a Moonblast into my Salamence slot. Of course, you could Moonblast double up the Koko, I suppose, but I would probably see Calm Mind or something, or Snarl. Oh, why? I would have loved you to hit that Snarl. No. Oh, Calm Mind? No, it's just Moonblast. Okay. Into the Salamence slots. Okay, so my opponent got me there. But no! That's not offensive Arcanine then, probably. That's probably not offensive Arcanine. That would probably be bulky Arcanine, but luckily thanks to terrain my opponent can't knock my Metagross out. Especially since that's not Specs on Fini. So I think I could go for a Bulldoze and Headbutt combination into Tapu Fini. I don't have a real big reason to target down Arcanine right now, and I'd rather put Tapu Fini in range of Thunderbolt once the electric terrain comes back up and Aurora Veil potentially is gone. So I definitely want that. I don't really worry too much about the Arcanine here because if I get a Bulldoze off, I'm in a very good spot anyway. So 2 more turns of Aurora Veil if it's not likely. I'm pretty sure it's Sash Ninetales. I'm definitely sure it's Sash Ninetales because of how my opponent played it. But let's see. Bulldoze is going to come out. Let's see if this Arcanine does have a berry, which I would suppose it would have a berry if it has Snarl. Of course, maybe I didn't need to bulldoze because Flare Blitz plus Muddy Water could be a deadly combination, but a -1 Flare Blitz plus Muddy Water shouldn't be able to knock me out since it's not Specs Feeny. It is Barry Arcanine, so I don't have to worry about like something like such as a Inferno Overdrive, which would have been a pain to deal with. So, Burn Up. That's new. And that's like very scary for my team actually. That is very scary for my team, so that's actually very unfortunate here. Muddy Water though into Men's, okay. Yeah, that's not exactly the ideal turn for me. That's definitely not the ideal turn for me. But I guess I could go for a Buzzwole. Or I could go, actually I could go Tapu Koko here. There's no reason not to go Tapu Koko because I could just Thunderbolt the Feeny. And Draco Meteor this Arcanine. Because of the fact that, let's see, I mean Aurora Veil's still up, which is a bit annoying. If Arcanine switches out, I mean the best thing it should be able to do is Snarl right here. Okay, this is a tough decision because I have to think about the end game definitely hard here. It's definitely hard to predict the end game, I think. Because I need Tapu Fini and Arcanine damage 100%. I think I go for Draco Meteor and Arcanine, and I think I Thunderbolt. I mean, he should have Flare Blitz. I don't think he can do much damage with Arcanine. Tapu Fini could definitely switch out though, which is definitely a play my opponent could make. Although I would get a lot of damage onto Arcanine, and the fact that Gleam should be able to knock out the Fini afterwards. Helping Hand. Oh. Oh. Hello. That's a new one. Thunderbolt's going to come out into the Tapu Fini slot. Doesn't proc a berry. Oh, it does proc a berry. Wait, that shouldn't proc a 50% berry. It's a Citrus Berry. Okay. That makes a lot more sense here. Draco Meteor's going to come out into Arcanine, which should be doing a lot of damage, I would assume. Well, it should do about the 40% it did earlier. Yep. And Moonblast, I'm guessing. Yep, Moonblast into Koko, I would assume. Yep. But that's not going to KO. And the hail does stop, which is very fortunate for my team. Roarveil does end. Although we're still in a very tough spot here. Yeah, we're definitely in a tough spot here. I think the best play here is to... Let's see, I could Draco Meteor the Arcanine again, which is fine. Is the Roarveil gone? Yeah, it is gone. I think the best place to protect here, scout for E-Speed #1. Well, then again, if my opponent has E-Speed, we're already in a tremendously bad situation here. I think maybe I should just... Like, if I Volt Switch into Buzzwole, I would have sacked my Buzzwole, which is something I don't think I really wanted to do, because I feel like Buzzwole was good enough for this game. Tapu Fini is going to withdraw into the Garchomp? Okay. That's fine by me, actually, because what I did... Unless it's Extreme Speed on Arc. Let's see if it's Extreme Speed. What if it has no Protect? No, it's just a Protect. Okay. That's actually fine for me. We already confirmed all the Arcanine's move. I can go for Gleam plus Draco Meteor, which should be able to knock out the Arcanine. Oh, wait. I think he's going to go into Fini again. Like, you know you're not a Fire type. You should go into Fini here. Because Gleam plus Draco Meteor will knock out Arcanine in the electric terrain, which is why I don't think you go for that play. I feel like you switch out into Fini and go for like a Snarl or something. In that case, I'll go for a Draco Meteor into Arcanine and a Volt Switch into Arcanine because I'll be able to pick up the KO on Arcanine. And this is a safe play because Buzzwole gets in for free, unless Arcanine goes for a double Protect here. Yeah, got him. Okay. Tapu Fini is going to come out, which is beautiful here because I will be able to knock out the Arcanine most likely with the Draco Meteor plus Volt Switch. Maybe not. Maybe T-Volt would have been better, but I think... Actually, I still think... Oh, that's going to be close. Oh well. I don't care if you Snarl really. Buzzwole is here. Buzzwole is in. Buzzwole is the savior right here. So we get Buzzwole in and we can Draco the Arcanine. Let's see how much it's going to do. I don't expect... it's actually best case scenario if it doesn't pick up the knockout here into Arcanine. Yep. It still stays a Fire type, which is good. Snarl's going to come out. Salaman's voice attack, but it's not... I mean... I don't know, the damage really isn't really that big. Maybe we put it into Muddy Water plus another Snarl range, but I don't see it being that significant. I'm going to go for a Bulldoze here and a Protect here. I don't care if my opponent goes for Protects. I don't. I really don't, because Coco looks like it's gonna be winning the game with paired with Buzzwole. I just gotta play the last three turns correctly. I'm really hoping my opponent lets me get a Bulldoze off into Feeny. Feeny protects here. That's probably worst case scenario right here. And I'm probably gonna have to. Feeny goes for protect here. Arcanon's gonna withdraw. Oh, that's bigger, I think, for me actually. So Garchomp's gonna come out. I don't think Feeny protected here. I think Feeny went for the attack, and if that's the case, that's the best case scenario right here. I get the Bulldoze off, which will be able to put this Feeny a bit lower, as well as lower the speed, so my Buzzwole's Poison Jab plus Dazzling Gleam will be able to pick up the knockout. I think the game's already set. Moonblast is going to come out into that Buzzwole slot. Oh. Well, I still Poison Jab the Feeny slot and Draco Meteor to Arcanine. Guess I could Dragon Tail. I'm not really worried about Garchomp. Although Rock Slide could flinch me, which is a bit problematic. Yeah, but if like even in my post switch out Garchomp into Arcanine or Fire Fang, okay. Please don't flinch. That's like the one thing that could win my opponent the game. Oh, Pokemon's a competitive game. That was probably the worst case scenario right there, because Poison Jab would have been able to knock out the Feeny. I do get the Dragon Tail off, which does knock out the Garchomp right here, but or it doesn't. Excuse me, it didn't. Okay. Okay, that's not good. Arcanine's gonna come back out, bring out Intimidate. Seriously, my luck today. Tapu Koko will come back out. Oh, why did you have to flinch? I get Tapu Koko in. I think I go for Volt's Thunderbolt into Feeny, and I think I go for a Draco Meteor here. We're -5 though, but I still think Draco Meteor should be able to pick up the knockout on Arcanine. I mean, come on, Salamence, you should be able to knock it out, and T-Bolt will be able to knock out the Feeny. I don't care if he switches, he doesn't have E-Speed. As long as I don't miss Draco, I feel like I do win the game, but I mean, my opponent already got the flinch. This makes the game a bit harder because the Draco Meteor doesn't pick up the knockout, which I think it does, because I don't think that Arcanine has like more than 15 HP. I think Draco Meteor should do at least 15 HP, even at -5, so come on, Salamence, just pull through, get that Draco Meteor off. Maybe it would have been better for me to go for Draco Meteor in the previous turn, but I guess it really doesn't matter at that point. Let's see if Feeny protects. I mean, I think Feeny should protect or go out into, okay, it doesn't protect here. Let's see. Come on, Salamence. Show me something good. Draco connects. Knock out the Arcanine and we all good. There we go, there we go. Wait, did it live? No way, James. Arcanine does go down, and the Garchomp will be able to come out here. However, the Garchomp, you know, is already in Gleam range. Yeah. Unless it's Scarf Chomp. No, it can't be Scarf Chomp. We already saw the Tectonic Rage turn 1 of the game. So, definitely the best case scenario here, I think, because Gleam is going to come out and knock out the Garchomp, and that'll be a good game. So that was a pretty long game, but I think it was a pretty fantastic game overall. Turn 1 was a huge momentum swing, because I felt like, okay, so what are you going to do with Ninetales? I don't think you're ever going to Blizzard here, so Salamence is a very free switch-in, because the two plays you do, Aurora Veil, if you're Sash, because you lived a Bullet Punch plus Gleam, I don't know, I still don't think Aurora Veil was his play. I thought maybe to play with the Protector, switch out, not to sack Ninetales there, but like, okay, in worst case, if he does go for an attack with Ninetales and stays in, you're probably going to set up Aurora Veil. So, I thought the best play there was to switch into Mens, get the Intimidate, as well as get the Gleam damage off I needed on the Garchomp, as well as break the Sash on Ninetales. The Bullet Punch KOs later in the game, and Draco Meteor will KO the Garchomp even through Aurora Veil if I am able to get Electric Terrain back up on the field. And the fact that the switch covered anything but Tectonic Rage in the Koko slot was a very solid play, because if you get rid of Koko with Tectonic Rage, I guess that would have been worst case scenario right there, but I feel like I could have started sweeping with my Metagross potentially later in the game. So yeah, hope everyone enjoyed today's episode. I think we only have time for 2 games, so I do hope everyone did enjoy it. Sorry, my voice is a bit different, or maybe I made a sloppy play in the last 2 games. Like, my memory's like not even here right now, but hope everyone enjoyed. If you did like it, please leave a like down below. Also, if you want to show your support, just feel free to share it. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, share this video out. Views really helps. I mean, yeah. And also the fact you can check out the social medias down below that I've linked. I also will be live streaming on Twitch at least twice a week now, because I think I finally have a Twitch schedule almost mapped out. Like, it's almost completely planned out. So I will be streaming at least 2 times a week, so definitely look forward to that. As well as you can check out the previous episodes of back-to-back battles if you have missed them. And of course, you could always, again, if you want to use Snow's team, check it out in the description, as well as you can follow Snow on Twitter, as well as the QR code. And yeah, hope everyone has a fantastic day. Unlike I'm pretty much in bed all day, but hope everyone will enjoy their day. And yeah, I'll see you around in another video.